Ankit, it's a pleasure to speaking to you today to get to know more about your exciting company and services. So Signzy is a company into fintech and banking innovation. This is quite a niche field. Can you share the journey of the brand with us?
So what we noticed is that financial institutions are a little bit stuck in legacy systems. And as a result, still the consumer experience and services being offered are manual, semi-manual, physical processes, and which slow down new customer onboarding, giving services to customers, and create a huge paper trail for the bank. It makes, of course, the life of the consumer difficult, but imagine even the bank has to keep track of so much things happening in terms of audit. And I think while banks are now trying to modernize, given that digital age and embedded finance age is upon us, but I think they don't have a one platform kind of a play. They tend to have to go to service providers building mobile apps, chat bots, websites, go to KYC players, go to AI players, contract signing players. So they have to go to a lot of players to get this problem solved. So I think that is what was the aha moment for us. We realized that there is a category for banking automation doesn't exist. While there are CRM players, there are workflow players, there are ERP players, but something which is specialized for banking doesn't exist. And that is how Signzy got born. And our vision is that today, if you see, there is about 70-80% back office concentration in terms of people, and there's 20-30% front end people who are actually helping consumer. Our vision is that we should be able to reverse that. Most of the people should be helping the consumers, giving them financial advice, helping them solve problems, and the back end should become fairly automated and should get away with all this paper. So that is our vision, and that is what we want to solve. We want to become like a single switch for banking and financial institutions as they want to undergo their digital banking services journey. And one of the key aspects is that while all of this automation and technology upgradation is happening, Signzy is at the, you can say, crossroad of technology and compliance. We ensure that as a bank, you are fully compliant to the regulation, the data is completely secure, and the risks that come with adopting new technology are fully mitigated when you choose Signzy. Today, of course, we work with almost 200 financial institutions across the world. We onboard almost 5 million consumers every month through our partners. We aggregate over 200 API services across the world so that our partners don't have to go out and find those services. And yeah, as a result, a lot of these players are able to go to market within 3 weeks, take solutions to market very, very fast in a completely compliant and modern UI UX.
Oh, that's great. What are your areas or your core areas of expertise, and what markets do you currently catering to?
Yeah, I think as I also alluded in the previous answer a little bit, I think the two cornerstones of Signzy is technology and compliance. In the technology, of course, one important thing is that as you are depending more and more technology, the fraud proofing of your technology should be very, very strong and is a key aspect. Like today, the way we detect image frauds, video frauds in digital is the best in the world. And we have also filed few patents in US and India for the same. And the second is compliance. In compliance, you have to make sure that the workflows, the audit trails, the stack, everything is in such a way that it can be completely audited. It is complying to the local data regulation. It is complying to customer privacy. And make sure that when you're building, you're not just building for user experience, but you're building for both user experience and compliance. So those two, I would say, are the key, cornerstones of Signzy, and why we are able to make you a bank grade service very, very fast. In terms of markets today, as again I said, we work with over 200 customers. India was our first market where we have over 150 customers, and recently we have started working in Middle East. And thanks to the partnership, I think about which we'll talk a little bit more, we are aggressively gaining more customers in the region. Dubai was our first, you can say, landing spot, and we are doing really well there and looking to grow out of there. Other than that, we have had some success in North America region, and we have very early traction. I won't say it's a full-fledged market yet for us, but early traction, trying to get our footholds in and find market fit in that geography.
That's right. Speaking about this expansion, how do you further plan into the Middle East, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, I think, of course, I think this is a good point to talk about our partnership as well. So I think one of the things that we realize is that the problem is quite similar, that consumer expectations have become very, very demanding because people are using modern tools, they're using Netflix, they're using grocery providers, they're using an Amazon. So their experience has become very, very up to the point, and they want great experiences even from their bank and financial service providers. And at the same time, I think affordable solutions for the region are needed, that they can adopt that technology and go live. So our partnership with Seed Group is, I think, important for us because I think the goals of both the organizations are very similar. The goal of Seed Group is to make sure that cutting edge technology is adopted by institutions in the region so that they are globally competitive. They are as good as any outside institution coming in the region. And our goal is also the same, to help organizations bridge that gap within the tech world. So I think because both of our goals are very similar, this makes for a very good partnership. And for Signzy, which is coming from India, it also brings a large brand aspect into it, that it very easily answers the question, okay, who is your partner, who are you working in the region, and it kind of bridges that trust barrier that is sometimes there when you're working with a new company. So I think that partnership will really, really help us. Our core customer segment is banking and financial services. Our early customers in Dubai, like we have, I think, 13 customers in Dubai today. All of them, almost all of them, are financial services. And I think we'll be focusing on large banks, mid-sized banks, and fintechs as our core sector, and then maybe looking at other sectors like e-commerce, travel, etc.
Great. Going back to your product, your service, can you elaborate your technology with an example, just like an explanation of the route your technology takes to get the desired results?
Yeah, for sure. Let me walk you through what it takes today for our customers to achieve their goals and what it takes if they were using Signzy. So today, if I'm a financial services and I'm trying to do a digital transformation, I need to first find multiple partners. As I said earlier, also find partners for building front end apps, find a back end vendor for back office, find a vendor for APIs, different APIs, KYC, underwriting, contract signing. So I need to onboard multiple partners before I start a project. Then what I need to do is kind of figure out the rules and compliance codes that my team is using in operations, convert them into requirements, give it to this IT team which is building the project, and then eventually all of that gets plugged together, brought together, and gets coded, and a final app gets created. So overall, this cycle takes 6 to 9 months. It's a typical IT long cycle project. When you use Signzy, what happens is that you get all of these integrations in a box. You have a drag and drop to create your workflows. As a result, business users can use the tool to get desired result. They don't have to depend on IT teams necessarily. And also, a lot of libraries in terms of rule engines for financial services are out of the box. So you may not have to really think everything from scratch. And as a result, instead of taking 6 9 months of cycles, we are able to go live in 3 to 4 weeks, working with a particular business. And hence, businesses are able to afford to launch far more products to market, go to market faster, not worry too much about, oh, should I invest in digital technology? Will it be ROI? Because of the small cycle, small upfront cost, the ROI becomes a very simple conversation to do and very simple to go forward with.
Right. And one of the main concerns with technology like yours is security. How secure is your system, and what measures do you take to keep the system safe?
Yeah, no, I think 100%. Like as I said before, also I think one of the cornerstones of Signzy is compliance and security. From day one, we have had security as a basic principle of design. Even today, we have a 5 people dedicated security team in house, apart from outside audit that we do, and across the functions, not just system security but people security. We have very mature system in place, apart from all the certifications, ISOs and etc. Internally also we have very strict guideline that we have to meet for our internal 5 people security team, almost like a bank like infosec team is present within Signzy. So I think that has made sure that whenever development is taking place from scratch, not that you've developed something and then eventually you are thinking about security, how to put security into the systems, how to plug the holes. But from day one, security teams are involved in design, they are involved in delivery. When a delivery of any feature happens, one of the check boxes is security. So because of this overarching focus on security, I think we have been able to make sure that we have systems which are far more secure. Also, we allow very flexible customer data handling by our customers, so they can choose to have data in their own vault, in their own servers, while still using application layer for Signzy. So even from an architectural point of view, we have made sure that we give enough fair choices to our customers for security.
Great, thank you so much. It's very important, I guess, this specific topic. Let us move now to your entry into the UAE market now. How do you look at your strategic partnership with the Seed Group? What are your expectations of this association in the coming years?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So I think all businesses and especially financial institutions and fintechs, I think, are growing massively in both UAE and Middle East. And I think everyone is now doubling their efforts to digitize, automate, and build robust infrastructure for this next wave of disruption that they will be undergoing. And I think UAE is at a very key, pivotal role. I mean, as we can see that there are goals set for Digital Government Strategy 2025, and so more and more businesses are rolling out digital offerings, and the need for customer onboarding experience to be great is something which will be needed by almost all businesses. And I think for financial services, you would need great experience plus compliance and security. So I think Seed Group, because of the fact that they will have access to this market, it will make our reach to these consumers much simpler. And because the goals are very similar, as I said earlier, that Seed Group also wants organizations to adopt best standards in technology in the world. And Signzy also wants to help institutions get great technology. We'll be able to get that message to more people faster, also bridge that trust barrier much faster. We believe that because of this partnership, what we could have done alone, we'll be able to do almost 3x of that in terms of reach out, in terms of top of the funnel, working with Seed Group. And the conversions will be more. So if we had about 20% conversion in the region at an early stage, that will grow to almost 2.5x to 50%. So we believe both reach and conversions will improve significantly as we are working with the Seed Group.
Right. Why are you choosing Dubai? What benefits do you see in having your base here in this emirate?
Yeah, I think that's quite obvious. I mean, you're asking that question, but still, I think Dubai is the most multicultural, cosmopolitan, open society which is present in the region, which makes it a hub of innovation, which makes it a hub of cross idea pollination. Make sure that the best minds, even if I'm working in some other region or my main business is in some other region, but I make it a point that I visit Dubai, I meet people in Dubai. So Dubai is this hub of this intellectual discussion happening around fintech as well. So I think that makes Dubai the most important place to be if you want to be in Middle East and you want to grow in Middle East. Second, I think Dubai has put a lot of focus on this, like starting from DIFC. It is today known as one of the top 10 global financial centers in the way it's formed, in the way policies are formed, the way hassle-free things are, and how easily you can start a business in Dubai. the focus on new technology in terms of AI, digital banking, blockchain, cryptocurrency, I think that that entire cycle also has kind of made this differentiation even larger. And we are quite confident that the region's most important point, you can say innovative point, is Dubai. And by being in this point, we will be able to get our messages to the region much faster, and also be able to leverage a lot of the infrastructure that has got created in Dubai to overall expand fintech innovation.
That's awesome. And what is your ultimate mission? How do you see Seed Group contributing towards it?
So our ultimate mission is to help banks transform and become competitive in a digital world. And what Signzy does is that we give them ready tools to make that switch from being less agile to a really agile organization, a matter of weeks and almost no one-time cost. That is our ultimate mission, to help these banks make that bridge that gap. And as I said before, also because Seed Group also has very similar goals, it makes that partnership even more easier. This is not just about transactional relationship where we are just getting market access or it's a lead gen. I think the goals at a principal level match, because the kind of product we have makes current institutions more competitive. It makes sure that there is capability building happening in local institutions. You're not bringing a capability from outside and then trying to make market, but you're bringing in capability which is making local institutions much stronger, and much more efficient, much better, and much more competitive in a digital world. So I think for that reason, I think this is a great partnership at a principal level, at a philosophical level first. And then, of course, because both organizations will have that bonding, it makes the partnership work in a way that it's doubling its impact, doubling its effect. And I think that is what we see happening. And we are hoping that we can see the fruits of it much faster.